Thank you all for being here. So nice to meet you.
Thank
Nice to meet you,
you.
Krista.
So, starting with you, Malia, Mouse is very into a site called Spooky Spaghetti. And I was wondering if you could tell me about that and how it plays into the season.
Totally. So, Spooky Spaghetti, for those that don't know, is a fictional online forum that's like very, of course, based off of creepypasta, Spooky Spaghetti. It's in the name, but it's kind of like a forum where people post short stories or videos or theories, some relating to random fictional horror, and then of course in our season, a lot of it has to do with our trauma, which has been helmed as the Millwood Massacre, which I love the ring to that. It's great. But yeah, we find them, and in the beginning of the season, nobody knows our identity. It's kind of one of those things that's whispered about in town and internationally, I imagine, but there's still a lot of secrecy. And as Spooky Spaghetti becomes more popular and as the season goes on, like these secrets start to spill out and start really jeopardizing these girls' well-being. So yeah, it's an integral part, and I'm so glad Mouse gets to be captain of Spooky Spaghetti.
Maya, the Liars do kind of a version of Bloody Mary this season.
Yes.
And I always get like kind of freaked out just doing that, even as an adult, like standing in front of my mirror. Do scenes like that, whenever you're doing them, ever kind of give you the creeps?
They completely freak me out. I am terrified. I am scared of everything. Um, I'm terrified of anything and everything horror, but I love it, but I'm terrified of it. So shooting that sequence to me was like, what if someone named Rose died in upstate New York and we're summoning her right now? It was terrifying. Terrifying. I was really scared, but nothing happened.
Yeah, upstate New York, it's just shooting that show in upstate New York is crazy because it is one of the most haunted
But saying that in
areas.
the mirror, I was trying not to look in the mirror. I was looking at the wall, but I had to look in the mirror because I was on camera. It was terrifying. I didn't really enjoy that part. That was scary.
I always thought that would be just really weird doing that.
It
Thank you
was
for answering.
terrifying.
Gordon, what can you tell me about how Mouse and Ash are doing after the aftermath of season one and going into season two?
Yeah, midway through the season, they're doing great. They're better than they've ever been. Not to say that episode one doesn't start off on a rocky foot, but they quickly rebound from it, and he just is there to support her and there to kind of be her cheerleader and everything that she does, even if it is being caught up in this really strange website called Spooky Spaghetti. And even if he doesn't believe in it, because people deal with trauma in different ways, and if this is how she chooses to deal with her trauma, he supports her and he's there for her and he loves her no matter what.
Hmm.
Love Ash. Long live.
Love Ash.
Maya, in the trailer, we see Noah engaging in a kiss with somebody, and I'm wondering, should we
Oh.
be worried about her relationship with Sean?
Um, I think let me think how to phrase this.
Tricky question.
Yeah, it's a very tricky question. Honestly, I think this season is so heavily based on self-discovery for Noah. And I think she's doing as best as she can to stay afloat, especially after everything that went on season one. And a lot of the times, as it happens in life, along the way, we hurt a lot of people and we make mistakes or we have to make hard choices. And I think, that's what the season is about for Noah. I'm not going to say anything specific about who, what, where, but I definitely think it was very fun to balance her own like coming of age story with the horror aspect of it all. And I think that's what makes also our show so fun and so special is Roberto and Lindsay's way of marrying both things together,
Mhm.
like teenage life and experiences mixed with crazy, insane camp horror. It's a very fun hybrid.
The other thing that the trailer does, and I'm using the trailer as my example just so we don't spoil anything,
Aw.
but Dr. Sullivan asks the girls, say your worst fears are realized. What's the worst that could happen? So, starting with you, Malia, what is the worst that you think could happen for Mouse? And then if you three would just kind of just
Oh my
give me your
gosh.
quick thoughts on that.
I think it's really easy for Mouse to get caught up in herself. And I don't think she's a selfish person at all. I love her dearly, but I do think sometimes she can be very internal. And but the relationships that she's nurtured with Ash, with the girls, with her moms, with Lola, you find those start to slip. in the season. And I think the worst thing that could happen for her is that this real scary threat, and also like the threats that are smaller and more nuanced in her life, could jeopardize, the people around her if she continues to choose herself above others.
I think for Noah, she's so terrified of reliving her past, that a lot of her impulsiveness and her decision making stems from that fear. And I think probably the worst things that can happen to Noah are either going back to Doobie or the people that she loves getting hurt in any regard. I think it's always been very apparent with the way that she acts that she wants to protect her loved ones above everything. And at the same time, the one thing that she'll prioritize is not going back to Tubi. That's like her biggest fear in this world. So yeah, I would say those two.
And she
Honestly,
didn't ask you, Jordan, but let's hear
what's
what
that?
what's Ash's worst fear in that regard.
Honestly, it happens in episode 6. I can't
I
talk
haven't seen that one.
much to it. But what I can say is that there's a real threat to Ash that happens in episode 6 that is a very real threat to him.
Mm,
And a very scary thing for someone of his age to head first with.
mm.
Um, it's something that I can't talk about quite yet, but it is something that does happen. And it is something that is a very real thing.
Awesome. Thank you all so much. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you.